Welcome to Learn English with Stories, the place where beautiful stories help you improve your English slowly, clearly, and with emotion. Today's story is a gentle, mysterious, and deeply human journey. A story about finding connection, finding courage, and finding love at a time when life seems quiet and ordinary. As you listen, pay attention to the expressions, the emotions, and the natural rhythm of spoken English. If you enjoy stories that teach you English while touching your heart, then you are in the right place. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Learn English with Stories so you never miss a new episode, a new journey, or a new lesson through storytelling. Now, take a deep breath, relax, and let the story unfold.
My name is Eleanor Marsh. I am 64 years old, and until last year, I believed the interesting part of my life was already over. I live in a quiet village in the northern hills of England, the kind of place where time does not rush. It simply moves. My cottage is small, warm, and filled with books that I have collected over decades. My husband, Thomas, passed away 12 years ago. Since then, I have lived alone. Not by choice, not by fear, but by the silent way life sometimes turns a page without asking you. I have 2 sons. They love me, I know that, but they live far away. Lives full of work, children, and schedules that move faster than my memory can follow. Their calls are brief, polite, predictable. I never blame them. Life is loud for the young and quiet for the old. Most mornings, I wake up before the sun, place the kettle on the stove, and open the door to my little bookshop, a shop that sits right at the front of my home. People do not come often, but that never troubled me. Books keep me company. Silence, too. But silence can become a companion that slowly eats your voice without you noticing. I did not say this to anyone. I did not even whisper it to myself. But deep inside, I longed to feel seen again. Not admired, not praised, just seen. It was a Tuesday. The kind of Tuesday that looks exactly like every other Tuesday of the past 10 years. I went to buy bread. The air was cold, sharp, honest. At the small market, I saw something unusual. A young man, perhaps 30, maybe a little younger, bent down to help an elderly man pick up fallen coins. He didn't rush. He didn't sigh. He didn't pretend kindness. He simply helped with quiet sincerity. Something about the moment stayed in my mind like a soft echo. I went home, placed the apples in a bowl, and returned to my routine. But the memory of that young man's gentle smile lingered in the corners of my thoughts. 2 days later, I saw him again outside the pharmacy. He was speaking to the shop owner, laughing lightly. When he noticed me, he gave a small, polite nod, a smile that felt strangely warm. Something inside me, something long asleep, shifted. The next day, he appeared again, this time in my bookshop doorway. "Is this your shop?" he asked. His voice was warm but soft, as if he had learned not to raise it unnecessarily. I said yes. He stepped inside slowly, like someone entering a memory. "Do you have any books on gardening?" I showed him a few, and he chose the oldest one, pages yellowed but full of secrets. He paid in coins and thanked me with a smile that stayed in the room long after he left.
A few days later, he returned. "My name is Lucas Hale," he said. He told me he worked at a small repair shop near the bakery, fixing bicycles, machines, old radios, anything that needed a patient pair of hands. He lived alone. His parents had died when he was a teenager. His grandfather raised him, and when the old man passed away last winter, Lucas moved here, searching for quieter days. He began visiting my shop often. Sometimes he bought a book. Sometimes he simply sat with a cup of tea. Other times he stayed in silence, a silence that did not hurt, but healed. I waited for his footsteps without admitting that I did. I told myself, it's nothing, just kindness. But inside, my heart whispered something I tried not to hear. One afternoon, as he helped me move a heavy box, I noticed something unusual about him, a kind of sadness in his eyes, but also a secret. I did not ask. Some secrets reveal themselves slowly, like dawn. Then one morning, I found a small folded paper under my teacup. Only one sentence. "Your shop feels like a place where lost people finally stop wandering." There was no name, but I knew. My fingers trembled as I held the note, not from fear, but from the shock of being noticed. Over the next few weeks, Lucas became a quiet part of my life. We spoke of ordinary things, weather, tea, books, old towns. Yet every conversation carried a warmth I had almost forgotten existed. I began to bake again. I wore my nicer cardigans. I brushed my hair with care. I felt alive. In small ways, yes, but alive nonetheless. One evening, as we shared warm bread, Lucas said something that stayed in my heart. Some places feel like home, but some people feel like home. His eyes held mine for a second too long. My heart stepped forward, my mind stepped back. But villages gossip, like old trees whispering in the wind. Soon I heard it. She's too old. He's after something shameful. The word shame attached itself to me like a cold fog. One day, my younger son called. He didn't greet me with warmth. He didn't ask how I was. He asked only one thing. "Is it true? Are you seeing that young man? Have you lost your mind?" His words pierced deep. I stayed silent, then said softly, "I am trying to be happy." He hung up. I held the phone like it was a piece of broken glass. That night, I cried quietly, the way older people cry. Not loud, not dramatic, but with the weight of years. The next day, Lucas visited. He noticed my sadness and gently asked what happened. When I told him about the gossip, the stares, my son's angry words, he listened without breathing loudly. When I finished, he said something unexpected. "I know what it feels like when people stare at you as if you don't belong. I know because I lived my whole life like that." Slowly, he revealed the truth. His grandfather was not only a guardian, he was hiding Lucas from dangerous people connected to his past. Lucas changed towns often to stay safe. This village was supposed to be quiet, safe, peaceful, until he met me. Meeting you, he whispered, was the first time I felt I could stay somewhere without running. That mystery, that vulnerability, brought us closer than before. Weeks passed. The village noise grew softer. My fear grew smaller. One evening, Lucas came with wildflowers. His hands shook. He said, "I know this may sound strange, but will you marry me?" The world stopped. My breath stopped. I asked him to sit. We drank tea in silence. His sincerity filled the room. My heart, quiet for a decade, whispered loud enough for me to hear, "It is not too late." The next morning, I said yes. We married quietly, with no celebrations, just two signatures and two hearts choosing courage. People talked, they judged, some mocked, some avoided me. But one evening, a letter arrived, addressed to Lucas. He opened it slowly. Inside was a single line: "You cannot hide forever." His face went pale. He folded the letter and whispered, "My past has found me." But then he looked at me with calm determination. "We will not run. We will not hide. This time, I have someone worth staying for." For the first time, his secret became ours. And instead of fear, I felt strength. Because love, real love, changes even the quietest life into something brave. Months later, my older son visited. He looked around my home, then at me. "You look happy," he finally said. "I may not understand everything, but I see he respects you. Maybe that's enough." His words healed something broken inside me. That night, I sat in the garden with Lucas, the sky glowing purple. I took his hand and said, "Thank you for not giving up." He whispered, "No one gives up when something real. They just wait until the rest of the world understands." And in that moment, I realized something extraordinary. Life does not end when you grow old. It ends when you stop allowing yourself to feel. I chose to feel again. I chose to live again. And that choice changed everything. This is my story. A story of love, courage, whispers, and a second chance I never expected. And now, I want to ask you, where are you listening from? Because sharing this with you gives my voice the strength I once thought I lost. Thank you for listening to today's story on Learn English with Stories. I hope this story helped you learn new expressions, improve your understanding of spoken English, and feel the emotions behind every sentence. Stories teach us more than vocabulary. They teach us how to feel the language. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with someone who loves English stories. Your support helps the channel grow and allows me to create more long, meaningful stories just like this one. Tell me in the comments, what part of the story touched you the most? I love reading your thoughts. Until the next story, keep learning, keep listening, and keep growing with Learn English with Stories.